Hey, what is up, always? It's Lonely Gotcha Goblin, and we have an update. So I can tell you more about what happened this past week in terms of the gentleman who asked me on a date last Friday. Um, so it's been a very interesting experience, and I feel like I'm actually really happy that I went through all of this. And I'll give you a little bit of some background information, right? So, this gentleman asked me out on a date on Friday, and I gave him my number. He texted me, and we were texting for Saturday and Sunday. And he had said, he had asked me if I wanted to hang out over the weekend. And basically, he said he was gonna come up with plans, didn't come up with plans. And eventually, after sending a grand total of 13 messages back and forth with me, where I sent the last message and I had left it as an open-ended statement so that way I gave the ball to him and the ball was in his court and it was up to him to do whatever he wanted to do with it. He basically ghosted me. And I am not I'm not actually bitter about anything, which is actually the most shocking thing about this entire experience. Because I know that when I was younger, I would have definitely been so upset. I would have been absolutely confused, crushed, demanding an explanation, and all of these different things. But truthfully, I don't need an explanation. I don't need validation. I don't need to be, I guess, comforted or rest assured that I am enough, you know? So, the whole fact that he ghosted me and the fact that I haven't seen him for a whole week, um, not even like a small check in or anything like that, it shows more of his character and how he views me in his life, as opposed to what is lacking in mine and what is lacking in myself. And I genuinely believe that because for me, if I care about somebody, if I care about their time, the effort that they've put into communicating with me and taking the time out of their day to just reply back to my messages or something like that, I would respect that. I would respect that kind of effort and I would let them know. I'll be like, hey, I'm sorry, but I think I'm just gonna be busy this week. I'll catch you next week. Is that okay? Because if you think about it, like that is literally the easiest thing to do, isn't it? It's the most um empathetic way of handling a situation and the most mature way of handling a situation, which he did not handle it that way. He basically ghosted me, which is really, really funny to think about, to be perfectly honest, because I know eventually I'm gonna see him in person again. Like it's an inevitability at this point. And I know that when I do see him again in person, I am gonna be just as nice as I am to him usually. I'm just gonna be as nice, but it's not my place and it's not my responsibility to bring up things that happened, or rather, the things that didn't happen. I would just be like, okay, all right, sure. Be like, you need something? Okay, I'll go get it for you. It's fine. Because I met him at my job. Of course, I'm just gonna be as nice and as caring as I've always been to him and to all of the other people at my job. So it's been a really interesting experience in which I've re-evaluated my own priorities in life, re-evaluated my relationships with myself and also with my family. Um, and it's been so nice to know that something like this no longer has the power to shake me and to make me feel like I am less than I am, you know? And that is the most reassuring thing and the happiest thing that I have ever experienced coming from a random guy that I may have had a crush on, you know? This is actually probably one of the best outcomes of this kind of situation that I've had in a long time. And I feel like that really says something about my personal growth and the support system that I have around me, which I think is 10 times more important than something a random man can bring into my life at this point right now. So there is that. And, of course, I spoke with my parents about it. I reaffirmed, um, my beliefs, and I wanted to know what their opinions were. And my parents were like, yeah, if he really liked you, he would have at least checked in. He would have at least sent something over the course of 7 days. He would have said something. And at that point, I was like, yeah, he really would have. Even if it was just like a, hey, how are you? Are you doing okay? All right, that's good. I'm busy today, but it was nice to check in. Something sweet like that. And like, if you think about it, this is a silly little thing that I thought about the other day, but would any of the love interests treat MC the way this gentleman had treated me? I don't think so. Even in their beginning stages, I mean, look at Xavier. He got MC's number out of the blue and texted her being like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, um, it is a silly comparison, and I'm not saying that every man should be as, doting or loving as all of the different love interests in lads, but it is interesting to see and compare it to real life on the perspective of being like, yeah, at least that's a standard I would like, that kind of respect is something that I would want in a real partner or a real potential partner at that. And I understand. I'm not somebody who is already a deep part of this guy's life. I'm not somebody who is um an important part of his life, But I feel as though if he went out of his way to ask me for my number, he may have thought there could have been something there. So, shouldn't you put your best foot forward, kind of thing? 13 messages. Oh man, it's just so funny to me. It's so funny to me. After being so absent in the dating scene and having this small little thing come into my life at a very unexpected and I would say poorly timed way also, it is interesting to see how the dating scene is right now because I'm like, well, damn. And I'm not gonna say that every guy is gonna be like this guy. That's an unfair assumption to make on any future potential like person who comes into my life, but um, it just is really sad. Like all of the rumors that you hear about people saying that the dating scene is absolute shite is right. Is right. But yeah, and I wanted to get a guy's perspective on everything. And I had a conversation with my dad today about this. And I was like, Dad, what do you think about this person? Like the fact that they ghosted me and all of these different things. And my dad was literally like, if he really liked you, he would have messaged you back. And I know for a fact that Um, my parents, when my dad was courting my mom, you know, they would write, well, my dad would write handwritten letters to my mom. And they were within like driving distance and whatnot. So the fact that my dad went through that kind of effort for my mom, I want that kind of love too. I want handwritten letters. I don't expect them all the time, but like that kind of effort is what I want and what I'm hoping to have in my future partner. And my dad's right, like if he wanted to, he could have reached out. He could have sent a simple little message and like it doesn't take that long. And this man uses his phone for work, so I know he has his phone on him. And I saw him save my name into his phone too. So like he knows that that number is mine. um so it's just such a funny little turn of events. And my dad said something else too. He was like, the fact that he asked you out and then didn't reply to you because you weren't giving him the attention that he may have wanted could have also been a sign that his ego wasn't stroked enough, you know? That this whole thing was more about his ego than him actually liking you. And I was like, possibly, very possible. And I talked to my mom about it too, and she was like, yeah, I think he wasn't expecting how, I guess, nonchalant I was in my messages, because the way that I would talk to somebody, the way that I'd like to get to know people is a very slow process, whether that be a romantic interest or whether that be a friendship. I used to be somebody who used to be very overbearing with other people, and it took me a long time to find that middle ground of being more chill, um, but not being too chill, you know? In this case, I was being very, number one, respectful, being engaged in the conversation, and also leaving open-ended comments for the continuation of conversation to happen. So yeah, but I wasn't somebody who was going to be like hyper excited, like, oh my god, thank you so much for texting me, reaching out. I really like you. Like, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not that kind of person. And I don't know, maybe he was looking for something like that. Maybe he wasn't. I'm never gonna know because he's no longer around. He dropped off of the face of the earth. So, um, uh, but it's just really interesting. It's really interesting to see something like this. Um, I haven't been ghosted in a long time. In a long time. And when I was previously ghosted before, goodness, I would text like back to back to back. I would try to call, make sure I didn't do anything wrong, be that people pleaser, being like, oh my god, I'm sorry if I was, a certain kind of way or anything like that. Did I offend you? I used to be like that. And I realize now that doing something like that is putting my energy into a place and into a space where it is not, number one, being reciprocated, and number two, it's not being respected, So I'm no longer gonna be that person. Um, and I don't think I am that person anymore. And it's really nice to see that I haven't fallen into those kinds of habits again. Again, thanks to my parents and thanks to, I guess, my experiences in my past. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Um, I don't know if there's ever really going to truly be another update about this situation. I think the only other time I'm going to really do an update is if I see him in person, um, which I don't know if that's going to happen. I feel like it is going to happen, but I don't know when. I don't know when that would happen. And That might be next week. That might be in like 5 weeks from now. But whenever it does, I'll keep you guys informed about all of the juicy little details because I think that that is really fun. I feel like I'm talking with like oh gosh. I feel like I'm talking with like my girlfriends, being like, "Oh my god, guys." But yeah, it's been really fun. It's honestly been really fun. And um I'm also really happy that I haven't like devolved into this state of like hating him or anything like that. Like strong emotions like that because number 1, he doesn't deserve those kinds of strong emotions. And number 2, it's just not worth the time to think about at this point. Um yeah. Oh man. Sometimes I wonder if I'm being too mean or something, but I kind of like think about it and I'm like, nah, you're not being mean. You're just protecting yourself, protecting your energy, and I think that that's the most important thing um, in these situations and stuff. So, yeah. Well, thank you to everyone who tried to give me advice and everybody who took the time out of their day to try and reach out to me. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of the efforts that you've had to support me and whatnot. And to everybody who was incredibly sweet saying, Lynn, do what you want to do, whatever decision you want. We'll be waiting here for your videos. Like, I appreciate you guys. You're so sweet. Thank you, everybody. Also, those who wanted to reach out to me via Discord and all of these different shenanigans, thank you so much. Um, I I am filled with warmth and respect and gratefulness that I have such kind-hearted people to interact with on a regular, and you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Anyway, even though this video isn't exactly the ending that people had hoped for, um I hope that to anybody who is going through something like this, um please know that you are stronger than what you think, and that walking away from something that you may have thought was a good fit for you is a show of confidence. Knowing what you are worth is stronger than anything else out there. And respecting yourself and protecting your own energy is so important in this life, especially now. And I hope that you guys are okay. And if ever you need somebody to talk to, you can always leave comments in the Discord, or you can always leave comments down in the video here, because we're all in this together. We are all struggling through this crazy dating situation together. And it's been really fun. It's been really fun. I kind of, a part of me does feel a little sad that this kind of thing can't continue because I love talking to you guys about this. Although I will say that there is something else on the horizon to which I cannot divulge yet because it hasn't happened yet, but I have the feeling that it might eventually. But I don't want to get anybody's hopes up. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, leave a like down below, and if you want to hit that subscribe button for more little yaps from me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll probably start talking a lot about my experience through life and whatnot here on this channel, and I think it's been really fun connecting with you guys in a different way like this. So yeah, alrighty everyone, thank you all so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye now.